Happy St. Patrick's Day. Listen, did y'all see Tunde do the promotion for Tyler Perry's studio for Sistas with Peloton, honey? It was all over social media, honey, because apparently Tunde is a Peloton instructor. It was a whole big event, child, for the sisters, honey. It was cute. And they was doing yoga in the whole 9 yard. But yeah. But we gotta get into Tyler Perry Sister season 10, episode 10, Big As You. I'm behind and I'm trying to catch up because the next episode come on tomorrow, and I think after that it'll be one more episode for the mid-season finale, if I'm not wrong. I think that's right. It'll be 12 episodes in the mid-season finale. But, you know, I like to start off with the hors d'oeuvres first and then move on to the meat and potatoes. And if I hadn't introduced myself, I'm Nele, and welcome to Easy Convos, your cozy spot where we kiki about the latest TV shows, both scripted and reality, pop culture, and what's buzzing on social media. So get comfortable, grab your snacks and your tea, hit that like button, click the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. But we're going to start off with Rich. Madison is at Rich Fuel, but of course, where else would she be other than at the gym now? Looks like she still spend more time at Fuel, honey, than at her own gym. But she there going over their little promotional campaign, and then Zach come in with his clownery, honey. He chatted with Madison for a bit, did the pleasantries. Hey, how you doing? Hello, nice to see you again. All that whatnot, what have you. Zach keep joking that Rich got the juice and making these weird eyes at Rich. You know, like hint at Rich, like he got the juice, trying to get Rich to catch on or whatever. He asked Rich how Sabrina was doing, which prompted Madison to ask, well, who was Sabrina? And Rich says, Rich told Zach that, you know, Sabrina is just still in a coma. And Zach told Madison, you know, Sabrina is a very close friend of theirs that is in ICU right now. And Madison, you know, she did all the regular stuff. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, what have you. And Madison had to leave. I don't know where she was going, dressed how she was dressed, but she was leaving, honey. But Zach wanted to know what Rich thought about Madison. He told Rich he believed Madison is not just coming in there because she liked the juice, honey. Because the juice ain't that good. Of course he was just playing, but you know. It's more like she wants Rich's juice. If y'all get what he's saying and whatnot. And Rich like, man, stop playing, whatever. Zach thinks Madison is cool. Plus Fatima gonna check her out, you know, and that'll let them know really if she cool people or whatnot or whatever. Their little hangout was cut short when Mr. Keys called Zach. You know, he want to meet up to talk about the mentorship. So Zach got to run on home to meet Mr. Keys. But later, Tony and Rich at the gym working out. Tony wanted to know who the lady behind the counter was. Now, of course, it's Madison Truitt, the new owner of the gym. And Rich fills Tony in on Madison Truitt and how she wants to fix at the gym and how they got a promotional thing going on across promotion with the gym and Rich Fuel. And Tony thinks Madison is real good looking. Rich can't think about all that right now because he really focusing on Sabrina, which prompts them into the conversation of Sabrina. And he still can't believe what has happened to her. Neither one of them can. And Rich said, you know, how he still can't even recognize her or whatever. And he still blamed himself because, you know, if he hadn't ever done the Penelope thing. And Tony thinks Rich and Danny really need to stop it. Or what not whoop-de-doo. Like being so hard on themselves, which make Rich want to know what's up with Tony and Danny. And they don't go down that lane into that conversation. I guess that'll be the next show if they still at the gym or whatever. But we're going to stumble on into this conversation about Danny like she stumbled into the house drunk, okay? And Tony was there at the door waiting on her as he should have. I'm glad he was. And she called him apparently like she said she was since he was there waiting, I'm assuming. Tony behind her. They walk in, whatever. Danny really needs to stop drinking. She really do. I mean, alcohol is not her friend. Stop drinking and getting high, because at this point, she needs to be more aware of her surroundings, and she needs to do it for her safety. This fool is stalking her. She has got to get it together. Because did she just have this conversation with Creature about how she wanted to get it together and how can she do better? Still getting drunk ain't doing better. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a few drinks, but I think she needs to learn to control her limits on how high she get and on how much she drinks. But Tony is prepared to sleep on the sofa because he don't feel comfortable leaving Danny alone, and Danny offers for Tony to sleep in the bed because it'll just make her feel more secure and more comfortable. And he hugs her and agrees, but no sex, just as comfort to hold her, make her feel safe, and he knows she's drunk, and he knows how she is when she drinks and she's high. And so they're not having sex or nothing like that, just as comfort. Meanwhile, y'all, Officer Green is parked outside Danny's apartment, again trying to decide if he's going up to her apartment. I'm glad Tony there because Officer Green unpredictable, but I think I'm scared that he is going to hurt Tony. Like, I'm scared that he is going to try to shoot Tony and claim it's self-defense or something like that. Like, I'm just wondering, like, if he gonna hurt Tony. Like, he gonna go up to Danny's house, bamming on the door. Tony gonna be there. They gonna get into a fight again because, see, this time he in his uniform. He in the police car and everything. But this is the thing, how he gonna explain about being over there, because there's no call. The neighbor already witnessed him being on the door. So I hope that's gonna work in Tony and Danny's advantage or whatever, because Officer Green keep going over there. Like, what? Anyway, when Danny and Tony get into bed, Danny's phone's ring. She ignores it because guess what? It's Officer Green. Well, downstairs, Officer Green jumped out the car about to go to Danny's apartment because she ignoring his calls again. She's still ignoring his calls. She ain't taking his calls with that busted up or with Danny done beat him down. He trying to decide what he gonna do when he gets a call to respond over his police radio, and he took the call and he leaves. I think he gonna be back though. I'm sure he gonna be back. But Tony is awake the next morning, holding Danny, watching over her as she sleeps. Danny is like dreaming and jerks herself awake. And, she noticed Tony is awake. She started talking to him and everything and tell Tony how thankful she is that he being there because it allowed her to finally get some sleep, with him staying and being next to her, holding her. And he told her, she was, talking a bit in her sleep and everything, nothing legible. But in his opinion, I call it a fitful sleep. But she said she was finally able to get some rest, but her nightmares didn't disturb him too much. I was happy to hear Tony had job leads and he was going out to follow up on them. I'm glad he finally ready to get back to work and over his whole couch potato era, because just sitting at home gambling and sitting on the couch funking up her apartment and being a waste wasn't it. I don't care if he had 401k and money to live off of or whatever, honey. He need to be active and get back to work. But he gonna go see about that. Danny has applicants to see with Maurice and Pam down at the salon. He wants to come back, meet back up at her place. And Danny, of course, keep going on about how he doesn't have to be there after everything that happened. Whoop-de-woo. Tony is disappointed and hurt and all of that. And he knows it's not all on Danny. He wants to come to terms with all that. But, he finally tells Danny, the moment I've been waiting for, that he still loves her. I have been waiting for this all season long. Like, it took us 10 episodes to get to it, but we got to it. And he finally told Danny he loves her. Now, I was disappointed by Danny's reaction because she's like, what? And I'm like, girl, the man still love you despite all you done. You need to be like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so happy. Okay. Instead, she's like, but why? So, though she can't understand how or why he could love someone as damaged as her, Tony doesn't see Danny as damaged or as someone who cheated. And Danny can't understand it. Like, she can't wrap her mind around that. He sees her as a wonderful woman who sometimes makes mistakes that she learns to grow from. Danny don't feel like she is the type of woman that Tony deserves. Tony doesn't see her as a bad person at all. He feels like he has made his share of mistakes too, and he's learning from his mistakes, growing just like Danny. Now, he has to figure out how to get Danny to see her worth and that she's worthy of being loved. And how he gonna do that, I don't know, but he gonna have to try to. But and he wants to come back when they get through, because he knows she's scared and fragile. Plus, he genuinely concerned about her being alone and being attacked again. Now, I loved it when they hugged each other and he kissed her on her little cheek and everything. And I'm glad that she is open again to letting him hug her and kiss her on her cheek because of her attack. She wasn't comfortable with being touched, but I'm glad that she is at that point where she letting him touch her and stuff again. But she thanked him for being there also, and I'm glad that she is being nice to him despite everything. And I really wish she would let him come back, because honey, Officer Green is lurking. Okay, he lurking, and I feel like just as soon as Tony not there, that's when he gonna decide he ready to come back up there and be banging on her door. But anyway, Danny goes on over to the salon, which brings us to Danny, Maurice, and Pam. So Danny made it to the salon, hung over, of course, with them dark glasses on. Maurice tell Pam they see, all her hard work and want to help her more. And I am glad they acknowledge Pam's hard work, because even though Pam do mess up sometimes and she makes a mistake, she do be working hard, and she has been holding that salon together for a long time, since Karen was down and sick and since Karen left. And Pam has been running the salon, and I'm glad they did acknowledge that. But Pam told him today they need to get through all the applicants for the stylist position, and then she'll have a list of other stuff that they need to get done and things they need to do. But for now, let them get a stylist hired. But Danny let them know Andy's sister would also be applying for a stylist position. Now, child, nobody knew Andy had a sister outside of the girls, honey, and they had even forgot, because Andy never mentions her, never talks about her, which is weird. Okay, to not have a sister and not ever mention her, talk about her, mention nothing. Okay, Danny did try to give them a heads up about Cheyenne. But anyway, Pam check on things to see how everything going with the applicants that come to apply. And honey, the line is long, and baby, they are rough looking. They had a very diverse group to pick from. They really didn't like anyone they interviewed, but Cheyenne finally made it there for her interview, and need I say less, honey? Say less. They was impressed by the Shy, honey. By Miss Thang Chang Chang, honey. That girl, she's a rough one. She came in with the little attitude like she already had the job and she was already hired. She was looking around, checking out the salon like she was gonna be the one running, honey. She was looking it up and down, looking all around, being real judgy, like I can work here at this place. Maurice introduced himself and Pam, and Danny asked for Cheyenne's resume portfolio little thing to see what she had to offer and could she really do hair, was she really a stylist, honey. They was impressed by Cheyenne's little resume because she was doing keratin treatments, permanent hair, some she had all kind of stuff in there. They just have to find out how to get her license transferred to Georgia from Florida. Now, they gonna let her know if she had after they see the rest of the applicants. But honey, like my husband said, because my husband be watching this with me, okay? Child, it's gonna be a shit show, okay? Excuse my French, but he said it best. With Cheyenne being at that salon, it's about to be a shit show. They really like Cheyenne though, even though they tried to look at a few other applicants. They was mostly impressed by Cheyenne, honey. They really was. But let's move on to Andy Barnes, honey. Andy up and ready for the office. She was dressed down in that white suit, okay? Sis be clean. She talked to Cheyenne, and she had questions about Agent Watt's visit. And Cheyenne seemed like she was a little concerned about Andy's safety. I don't know if she's concerned about Andy's safety or more concerned about what she gonna do if something happened to Andy. But nevertheless, Cheyenne wants to know if Andy is in any kind of danger. Now, Andy told her that a doctor did some bad things by his patients, and she trying to help them out, and the doctor is not happy about it. That's the most she gave Cheyenne. Cheyenne moved on to asking Andy when she was getting her car back, child, because Andy had offered her a ride to anywhere she needed to go. Andy let her know how the insurance company doesn't want to pay her what the rose is worth, but she had other coverage, so it should be paid for. She gotta do something else with the insurance, and that part, and they're a little worried about. But anyway, she should be getting her Rolls Royce back soon. But y'all know what? I was watching Beauty in Black, and they driving a blue Rolls Royce on there, and I swear it's the same car Andy drive on Sistas, but I ain't the one to gossip. She did wish Cheyenne good luck on her interview. I was surprised when Cheyenne told her to be careful, like she genuinely cared. Because I was like, not Cheyenne caring, like truly caring about Andy's well-being. But Andy is at the office working, and Fatima comes in. Now, Fatima checking to see, what's up with Cheyenne. Because, look, if she try to talk to Zach again, honey, she going to get dealt with, all right? And Andy told Fatima about the whole jail situation with Cheyenne the first night that she came into town. Now, I figured that Andy had already told Fatima that when they had went out to lunch, but apparently she didn't. But Fatima said the same thing everyone else is saying. Basically, Cheyenne, maybe she'll find her way and get it together. Honey, no. Cheyenne gonna have to be, I don't know. I don't think she gonna have to have some more encouragement. I don't know. Fatima got to the reason of her visit to Andy's office, and that's finding out what's going on with Miss Valerie and Mr. Keys. Now, Andy has asked her mama about Mr. Keys a multitude of times, and all Andy knows is Miss Valerie and Mr. Keys just met and they hit it off. That's the most she knows. Now, Andy had to tell Fatima about Cheyenne not only hitting on Zach, but she done went out on a date with Hayden. Out of all people, she went out on a date with Hayden. Y'all, that's just weird to me. Cheyenne dating Hayden. But anyway, not only did she go out with Hayden, but she ran into them on her date with Dr. Vaughn. She had all the tea today for Fatima, okay? Fatima thought they were still mad at Dr. Vaughn, so she trying to figure out when they stopped being mad at Dr. Vaughn in order for Andy to even go out on a date with him. Well, Andy told Fatima she cleared all that up and verified Dr. Vaughn's story by matching it to the patient's files and records, and pretty much, well, he telling the truth. Now, back to the dates that Andy and Cheyenne had. Andy told Fatima Hayden was still whining over Tamara, child. He loved him some Tamara, and he still ain't got over all of that yet. But, hey, it basically shocked Cheyenne was Andy's sister. Hayden was. Andy has warned Cheyenne that Hayden may try to use her to hurt her. And Andy told Fatima how she feels Cheyenne secretly may want to hurt her too. And I just feel like Cheyenne can't be trusted. I can't say that she doesn't want to hurt Andy, because I feel like in a way that she do want to hurt Andy for not being there, because she done had so much anger toward her about that, and that's all she done went on about. But now Fatima asking the questions we all want to know, and that's why. Like, why did Andy leave and not look back? And because Andy feels like that's why Cheyenne may want to hurt her, because when she went off to college, she left. She didn't look back. And that's what we all want to know. Like, why did you leave and not look back? Because that's the story there, and we waiting to hear it. And all Andy will just say was that her life was hostile back then. But I think more about what happened to Andy and Cheyenne is gonna come out, and it's gonna get discussed, and we gonna get all that tea. I don't know if it's gonna be later in this season, beginning of a new season, but we gonna get that tea because some kind of way Cheyenne gonna bring it out, blurt it out in front of everybody. Something gonna happen. It's gonna come up between Cheyenne, Andy, and Miss Valerie. It's gonna come out that they have to tell Miss Valerie. So I feel like that's gonna be, if not the second part of this season, a big part of the next season, because there's a story there and it concerns Cheyenne and it's got to be told, and we here for it, honey. We want the tea. But Andy stopped by Hayden's office for a chat, honey. She wants him to stay away from Cheyenne. Hayden had to be cocky and get smart at the mouth as only he can, honey. He told Andy she couldn't manage his personal affairs, honey. Andy let him know his behavior at dinner was unacceptable, and while what Hayden does on his own time, maybe his business, his behavior affects the law firm, especially his comments towards Andy, and she not tolerating that. Baby, by the time Andy stood up and put her foot down, so keep her personal business out his mouth and stay away from her sister. Somebody gonna have to put Hayden in check, because how he be talking to her so disrespectful, she gonna have to stand up for herself, because some kind of way that's gonna have to be stopped. Hayden feels like Andy is in his business, but yet telling him to stay out of her business. But Hayden has been warned about his comments about Andy and seeing Cheyenne, or she will end his career. While he talking about, well, what you gonna do? She said she know where all his bodies are buried, and she'll end his career. Then he gonna try to mumble fit when she walked out of the room, and she said, what? He like, nothing. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. You knew to shut up. But on to Zach and Fatima. Zach and Fatima sleep up in the bed when Fatima get a whole phone call. She trying to slide out of the bed without waking up Zach. Child, she sneaks over to the corner of the room whispering on the phone. It's her connect that beat up Luther. He let her know it's been handled and all, and he texts her over the pictures as confirmation. And she was pleased with what she saw. Now, I wonder when Zach gonna find out, or either he gonna find them pictures in her phone. And I feel like he gonna find them pictures in her phone, because he gonna find out some kind of way what happened. And I think he gonna find them pictures in her phone. But the next morning, Zach made Fatima a little breakfast before she went to work and whatnot, and they kikiing in the kitchen and whatnot. And he made her some lunch out of the leftovers from the cookout. Baby, why she done threw them in the garbage? I was like, nah, baby, don't be throwing away the whole Bantu bowl in the garbage. Don't be throwing away your good Bantu bowl. Get dunk the stuff and keep that Bantu bowl. Wait till he walk off, Chad. Nuh-uh. But anyway, Zach gonna be meeting up with Mr. Keys later after he runs some errands and do some other stuff. But he wondering if the police done found out who blew up Andy's car, and he gonna find out for himself. Now, this is how I was wanting it to go. I was wanting them to do their little investigating thing, because I like to see Zach and Fatima do their little investigating thing together. Ever since they did the little investigating thing with Gary, I like them together like that. So I'm disappointed that Fatima went behind his back and didn't tell him and involve him in on it, because I like when they work together like that. I think it's so cute. But Fatima real cool about the situation, encouraging Zach to let the police handle it, because she's sure whoever did it got whatever they had coming to them and they just deserve. But listen, Zach gonna be real mad when he found out she knew who did it this whole time and didn't tell him. But Zach and Mr. Keys talking, and Zach asked Mr. Keys what was going on with him and Miss Valerie when Mr. Keys came over, because he was at the juice bar and all of that. You got the wrong. He went, rushed home to meet Mr. Keys. Mr. Keys came over, and now he and Mr. Keys is talking and whatnot. And everybody is concerned about him and Miss Valerie, because now Zach asking what's going on with Mr. Keys and Miss Valerie. But Mr. Keys said, they working on their friendship, but there's a potential there for more. Then they started discussing the whole mentorship program and all that kind of stuff. Then Fatima came in to get her file that she had left at home, that the Andy needed or whatever. She was working on it at home and left it. And Zach greeted her, whatever, they greeted, whatever. Zach ran upstairs to the bathroom, and Fatima saw the opportunity to talk to Mr. Keys alone, and baby, did she, okay? She wants Mr. Keys to tell Zach the truth. He all confused. He was like, he don't know what she talking about. Fatima just wants to know when he gonna tell Zach the truth. Mr. Keys, it's like, well, this the second time, you done said that to me, and I don't really know what's going on. Fatima told Mr. Keys to cut the bull. Cut it. He needs to cut it. Cut it. Cut. I'm sorry, y'all got a song for everything. But honey, she know the truth. Now when he gonna tell Zach? And Mr. Keys just looking like he still gonna try to stick beside it. Like he don't know. Baby, she know. So I can't wait to see Wednesday's night episode tomorrow, because baby, it's gonna go down. I'm gonna try my best to get these 2 videos edited before Wednesday night. I don't know if I can. Y'all know the girl will be working hard, but I'm gonna try to squeeze this in there. Anyway, let's talk about what's next on Sistas. Cheyenne over there sipping that scissor. Not her pouring the cough syrup in the paper cup. Girl, and finna mix. What? This girl ain't nothing but a headache, trouble, and trash, okay? Talking to her mama on the phone while she pouring up this scissor. Miss Valerie trying to see how she doing with Andy and how things going. It's not gonna be going well with all the mess Cheyenne keep doing. She already over here mixing up some scissor, girl. But anyway, Zach walking down the stairs, and he walked right into Fatima and Mr. Keys' conversation. And now he want to know what they talking about, because he done heard what he heard. And Fatima said nothing and tried to hurry off to work. But Zach said, nah, what is all this about? Like, what's going on? Child, I believe Mr. Keys finna be put on the spot, because, baby, he want to know what they was talking about, because he done heard a little bit of something. Honey, then we down at the salon. Is that B. Simone? I swear that's B. Simone on Sistas. Hey, B. Girl, who she playing? What's her character name? Is she playing herself? What's her character name? Come through, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry be hosting the people, okay? But she at first start with a hair emergency, and baby, she is being smart about me and need her hair done ASAP. Honey, she being snappy with Pam, and Pam like, nuh-uh. But I wonder if they're going to have Cheyenne to come in and do her hair. Baby, is Cheyenne going to come in and mess her hair up, or is she going to lay her hair fried, dyed, and laid to the side? I can't wait to see Wednesday's episode. Andy wants to know what's really going on with Fatima, and I'm guessing it's the Mr. Keys situation. She let Andy know she found out something about Zach, and she doesn't know how to tell him. She better figure it out fast. He will be past mad and past pissed off at her to know she knew and didn't tell. Because I feel like Mr. Keys may flip that on her. So she need to hurry up and figure that out. Because Zach gonna find out. I feel like Zach gonna find out she been holding secrets away from him. And I feel like how they gonna work it. He gonna find out she had the secret about getting the guy jumped that blew up Andy's car. Then it's going to overlap with him finding out that she knew about Mr. Keys and didn't tell him. And she done compound and kept all these secrets from him. And it's going to cause some issues between them. And I don't want them to go back being mad at each other, because I can't stand it. I feel like that's what's going to happen and blow some stuff up between them. So I need her to go on and tell him. Hayden wants to know when he can see Cheyenne again. And I feel like when Andy threatened him, he was going to really want to see her. But Cheyenne told him they had a conflict of interest. And I was so shocked and surprised to hear her say that. That don't mean she ain't going to see him, though. But the fact that she did consider it, that they had a conflict of interest, I was like, okay, she may have a little decency about her. But we're going to have to wait and see. Andy asked Danny who her attacker was, who was the person that almost raped her. And I feel like the time has come for her to tell Andy. So I feel like the mid-season finale, she gonna tell, by the mid-season finale, she gonna tell Andy, or somebody, because Officer Green is coming back, baby. And I don't know if it's gonna be the mid-season finale. He pop up Wednesday's night episode. He pop up, but he coming back, and I hope she will be done told Andy, Tony, Creisha, somebody by then who her attacker is. So it'll be somebody there in time enough to stop him. I don't know. We're gonna have to see tomorrow's episode. But again, happy St. Patrick's Day. I want y'all to let me know what y'all are watching. But I think I'm going to do a short video asking that, so all the comments will be listed below, because I want to do more show reviews than this sister. I am going to do Love Island. I am a Love Island fanatic. I'm a Bridgerton fanatic, so I'm going to do those two for sure. But I want to know what other shows y'all watch, because I'm trying to get back into TV. Like, I used to watch TV nonstop, just, you know, but I want to get back into it because I was like real deep and real heavy into it. Like, I'm real heavy into Tyler Perry shows, but I'm behind on a lot of Tyler Perry movies. Like, I didn't have Prime for a little while, so I just got Prime back this weekend, and it's a couple of Tyler Perry movies on there I haven't watched. I did watch Joe's College Road Trip, and I was trying to decide if do y'all think it's too late to do a show review on that, because it has been out a little bit. But you know what? I'm gonna just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. Even if it is too late. I mean, people that work don't have time to watch a lot of TV. Okay, but anyway, I'm trying to get back into TV. Like, I love TV, and I'm just like, I'm really trying to get into it. So I'm gonna do a little short so y'all can list under there what y'all watching, so I can get into doing other show reviews outside of Love Island and the Tyler Perry shows. But Tyler Perry got so many shows. It's enough to keep you occupied, honey, because that's literally all I watch. It's Tyler Perry shows. Anyway, that is it for today's Easy Convo. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay cozy and keep that tea hot until our next Easy Convo. Love you guys. Bye.